even like, oh, what's the world? Like some people, like this girl mentioned earlier, some people come into this so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and leave it. Like, sorry for my language, I fucking hate this. Like, you guys have no idea. It drives you crazy sometimes.
And yes, and somebody, Monique12_21, I'm trying to keep up with you guys' comments. I had to skip a lot, so if you said something that I didn't mention and you really want us to address, please say it again, but there's so many comments that I had to just skip.
I appreciate that you guys are so into
this. You know what? I appreciate it, but there's also a lot of people who've gone through this too, and I'm really glad, and like Dakota said, a lot of people are so scared to talk about it. Because they can't. A whole monster on their back that's like, I'm waiting for you to say something. But she said you get burnt out on the sport you're passionate about, and it sucks. And that is so true as well. And then on top of that, especially for Dakota and I, we knew we weren't going to go to play professionally. We knew that we weren't going to go play professionally like pretty early on. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Since I was young, I pretty much was like, college is the peak for women's basketball. And that's just how I felt at that time. Like I said, I have so much respect for the WNBA.
No, I don't. I have respect for the players.
I have respect for the players in the WNBA.
I don't really respect the WNBA.
And how hard they have to work to get there, because it's not easy. And a lot of people try to downplay the WNBA, but it's not easy. That is a tough place to get to.
Downplayed in the sense of the skill.
Ability.
I respect the players in the WNBA. I do not respect the WNBA as an institution.
Yeah. Anyways, so somebody said, is the scholarship just for tuition? Pretty much. Now don't get me wrong. It depends on, like, for a full ride scholarship, they pay for your books and they pay for your, they pay for you to travel, right? So like, I'm not gonna have to pay for my own ticket to travel to play in games. I'm not gonna pay for my own hotel room, And then like Dakota said, if you live off your 2/3, doesn't it? I knew you was about to do that.
No, I bit my bum.
Anyway, so for like Dakota said, like we get a stipend to pay for our like apartment or whatever. Don't lose that. Do not lose that. To pay for our apartment, but it doesn't even amount to the cost of my rent. So for Dakota and I honestly don't know how other people do it.
We're fortunate because
I don't know how other people do it, because I'm over here struggling myself, and people look at Dakota and I like, oh, but you guys side hustle and you make money on the side, and like we really actually haven't. We actually get shut down a lot.
Literally, we tried it one time, and I'm telling you, in like 10 minutes, they were like, shut that shit down. And we were like, man, F y'all. No, it's disgusting. It really is. And it makes me sad, because it's such a beautiful sport. All the sports.
It's a beautiful.
There's so much beauty in all of them. And it's like they get sucked out. You can literally, if you really pay attention now, and you'll start noticing players aren't really into it. Like, most players are like, I'm so fed up with this. Some players are like with guys, are like, oh, I'm glad my list is started going down.
Yeah, it is.
Or like, some guys are like, just super competitive, so they're gonna go super hard. But I'm telling you guys, there's so much to it that people don't know, and Dylan and I we will gladly lead the way to exposing this shit, because it's bad and it's messed up.
But like I said,
we're good people.
So somebody said you're getting a free education that costs $40 to $50K depending on the school, but plus stipends for food and housing. But I agree, NCAA does make money, but they also give out free education. So here's the thing: you don't see any of that money. And
okay.
The craziest part about it is the money that you get, your stipend. Like I said, my stipend does not pay my rent. I do not.
Can I also mention something in that comment right there? What education? You are not guaranteed a degree. You're not getting a resume to work. Your life, college is this short. It's shorter than high school because it goes by way faster, in my opinion. What education? We're barely in class. We're going to practices. We're traveling all the damn time. We are rarely in class. And yet you expect us to maintain a certain grade point average in order to maintain our eligibility. Now, like I said, I made a post because there's 5 of my teammates, including Dylan and I, who were on the academic all-conference team. And that is a fucking... I don't even want to brag about myself, but that is a fucking accomplishment.
And we've done it every year.
So, like, sorry to say, but what education? We're barely in class.
And mind you, there was a lot of athletes there at this who were in the all-conference team who still aren't lined up to graduate on time.
some really prestigious like things they were doing. And I talked to one of them after, and they're like, "Oh no, I still need like 4 more years to graduate." I said, "How have you been eligible?" But I was really just like, "What?"
Somebody said, sorry, Dakota, sorry to interrupt you, but I'm trying to keep up with all these comments. And somebody said, why don't you quit then if you're getting money from photo shoots and singing? See, that's the thing. We actually are taking care. For our singing, we're investing in ourselves. We don't.
Nobody's paying us
to do this. Nobody's paying us to do anything. We're investing in ourselves, which is really difficult to do and stressful, mind you. So, like, we invest all that stuff because we believe in ourselves so much. So, it's like the reason somebody says if you hate it so much, we don't hate basketball. We hate the NCAA, and we hate, unfortunately, collegiate athletics because of the NCAA and all of those upper echelons.
We'll always continue to play basketball.
We'll always continue to play basketball. We're still training for it right now because we're always going to have it and be a part of our lives. And, you know, if people try to challenge me, I'm not going to be rusty. So it's like, the thing is, though, if you've missed from the beginning of this conversation, we are foregoing our last year because we're graduating, because we're getting our degrees. We're foregoing our final year to play college basketball because our hand is essentially being forced because we are not allowed by the NCAA. We are not allowed to pursue a career that does not involve basketball because no matter what, they're always trying to cross these lines over, but don't really make any sense. So, for instance, Dakota and I got in trouble because we were going to go do a performance at this place called the Commonwealth in Las Vegas, and they shut that thing down so fast. They were like, "You're promoting a commercial, what was it called? A commercial something structure, something, not institution. It was like, whatever, business, right? You're promoting a commercial business and da-da-da-da-da, and they're using you to promote themselves, and that's against the rules, and da-da-da-da-da. So as a consequence, what they did was they told us we couldn't perform. So they were like, anything musically that we were trying to do, they would tell us, yeah, as a consequence for promoting, if I said, hey, you guys, everybody come to freaking Subway because Dakota and I are about to do an a cappella performance, they would be like, nope, you better stop that right now. Sorry, you're ineligible. You're going to need to write a letter because you just promoted Subway. And now if Subway says, hey, you guys, Dakota and Dylan Gonzalez are here to sing songs
sorry,
to
I just wanted to make a real quick interjection because someone said, what the hell is life like for walk-ons? And let me tell you what. I have the most respect for people that walk on because you really just love the game of basketball that much, or you really want to be part of something that much that you're willing to push yourself through all of this because, damn, I'm on scholarship and I'm like, how am I doing this? Like, seriously.
See, here's the thing. Somebody said learn loopholes, get a lawyer, and a friend in the compliance office. Unfortunately, because Dakota and I, our brand is where it is today, we can't just sweep things under the rug. It's too public, and it's an issue because here's the thing. All these people, like, let's say the jealous people over on the other teams in my conference, right, who don't want to get their butt kicked by us, they decide, oh, so the Twins can do this, so the Twins can do that, then they go and report us. So it's like, even if I go and get permission, what they do is, let's say I get permission to do a performance. What they'll do is they will drag that thing out. So I'll file for something. I'll be like, hey, can Dakota and I go perform in Norman, Oklahoma because we're going to open up for Lil Uzi, right? I'll file for that. And then they will drag it out for months and months and months. Ask me a billion questions. Ask me, da-da-da-da-da, am I getting paid? Who's paying for the flights? This and that and the other. I can't say anything about it. I have to accept all these terms like, oh, you have to just show up. You can't say you're going to be there. You can't da-da-da-da-da, whatever. And then it'll be so long that this is dragged out that I miss the performance.
Oh, yeah, no, to be honest, someone said this explains a lot of one and dones. Yes.
No, the whole premise for one and dones was because college athletics was potentially going to lose so much money because of all of the great athletes that could just go straight to the NBA. It wasn't about them getting their education. It wasn't about caring to start a foundation. It wasn't about none of that stuff. It was all about them continuing to make money off these kids because the second that these kids went straight to the NBA, they were losing so much money because then it's like, oh, like I'm just going to be straight up with you.
Yeah, shout out to Jordan Elizabeth. She said, facts. Yes, girl, you know.
Because like I said, people don't understand. It's like these kids are just getting used through the system. So that's why they forced them to go at least one year. Because the NCAA in college athletics was going to lose so much money just in basketball. So for football, I can't even imagine. Because for football, they force you to stay 3 3 years, I'm pretty sure. So it's just like, you want to sit here and what's messed up about it is, I'm not even gonna lie, football, you have a very, very short career time because of how physically abusive football is. So it's like, especially if you're like a running back or whatever it is, like your career is pretty short just because of how like hard you get hit and stuff like that. So the fact that they force you to stay in college for 3 years and they don't even let you get the opportunity to try to go and play sooner is so messed up to me, because your career is already shortened. You know what I'm saying? It's just messed up.
I'd also like to point out the whole point that I was making about you're not set up for after college. I mean, literally, if you play D1 athletics, your coaches will suggest for you to take another major out of your interest.
Shout out to you, Michaela. She said, I was with the women's team in Reno and experienced the same ish. Preach, girls. The thing that's so crazy is, like we said, for people who are just showing up, it's crazy how many athletes would actually open up and talk about how horrible the experience is if they were actually given the opportunity without any repercussion. Because the fact of the matter is, it's like we said, again, nobody's going to sit here and like spit and talk crazy about their boss. Because that's essentially what they are. Actually, it's not really a boss. It's like a freaking slave owner. So
here's like what I was saying before, though, is you're not going to get set up for after college because, like I said, coaches and academic advisors will advise student athletes who may be interested in, let's say, pre-med and taking a buyout. They will advise them to take other majors that are more lenient and flexible with their basketball schedule. So it's like, okay, I want to be a doctor, right? But you're going to go and tell me to take a psych major so that I can make basketball more convenient for me and I can still stay eligible, because you're telling me that I'm not going to have enough time to invest in my academics. That's what you're telling me.
Somebody said, sorry, keep going.
So, if I'm not able to invest in my academics, I'm not able to get the degree that I want to get in order to pursue my dreams after this and becoming a doctor. What the fuck are we doing this? Like, literally, you're getting used.
Yeah, and somebody said a little bit earlier on, I'm trying to keep up with you guys' comments. Somebody said, maybe they're promoting kids to go to college and not just try to make it to the league. But they're not, though. They're promoting, you only have to go for 1 year. And even for college football, it's the same thing. It's just they want to put kids through this system to make money out of them. That's literally what it is. And if you honestly are ignorant enough, or I don't even know, just
so this guy
blind enough to not want to believe that, but that's what it is. It is unfortunate.
What do you think about starting a new collegiate association that will allow athletes to get paid for their own likeness? The only restriction should be playing that sport professionally. I think that's going to be something that is actually legitimately a conversation that's had. I legitimately think that if that were the case, the NCAA would be out of business. I'm not even kidding you. If enough people started having that conversation and it became a real thing, if this was me and I know what I know now, I'm definitely going that route, like 1,000%. Yeah, sorry guys, we're getting so serious, but it's a serious thing. It's people's lives. It's your lives. This isn't just like, oh, haha, this isn't, you know.
And another example, somebody just said, bro, they made me take 12 credits for 2 years in order to have more time for practice, putting me behind. And that's the thing, you preach about, we care about the student, we care about you guys getting your education. It's student before athlete, but like we've said time and time again, a majority of people don't even get their degrees by the time their eligibility is up. By the time their eligibility is up, people don't walk away with a degree because you aren't on time or on track to graduate. Like, it's messed up.
Oh yeah, some of our teammates were forced to change their major in the middle of like their junior year or something because they weren't going to graduate. They weren't on track to graduate.
And then the other thing is, it makes me sick, is because, like, I remember sitting in AAU and watching those videos that they would make you watch, if anybody played AAU basketball, and they would make you watch, and I'm sure football did it too, but, and whatever other sport, but they'd make you watch these videos of this woman and this man talking about, we're trying to protect your eligibility, so don't take money and don't do this, and da-da-da-da-da.
Someone said your list is gone. I guess I can delete my comment.
I'll delete it. Anyways, so, like I said, people are like, don't do this and don't take money because we're trying to protect your eligibility so that you can play in college. And here's the thing, if that was actually the truth, you wouldn't have half the rules.
Yeah, this guy, same here. I have another year to graduate after my eligibility is up, and I have to find a way to pay for it. They don't guarantee you a degree.
And so, like I said, and they also don't guarantee it, because like another thing is that they do say that they'll pay for your 5th year, right? But not all colleges will do that, because not all colleges will be like on your side to do that. So anyways, so they preach about like, oh, careful with your eligibility, kids, and don't take cars from colleges, and don't do this and that and the other. Okay, cool. But here's the thing, why does that cross over into other avenues? Because like we said, a big issue that we had was they were not allowing us to pursue a career outside of basketball. So for things that had nothing to do with basketball, they would always tie back to it. So let's just say, God forbid, Dakota and I got invited to
Shout out to Dakota for starting this discussion, because this is important. People need to know the truth.
Yeah, for real. So it's like let's think about it like this. Dakota and I got invited to like a freaking award show, right? Because we're singers, okay? And people are like, hey, you guys are amazing. We want you to come perform at this award show. And they were going to pay for our flights and everything out there, right? That has nothing to do with basketball. I'm a college athlete. I can't afford to pay to go across the country to an award show. And that's an amazing opportunity, right? Especially because I'm trying to get into singing. I'm trying to be a singer. So, but the NCAA would step in and be like, oh, no, sorry. They only want you because you're a UNLV basketball player.
Exactly.
Even if it has nothing to do with basketball.
They try to make it seem like the reason you're getting opportunities is because of your institution, not because of who you are. They're like, we own your likeness. So it's not because of you, it's because of us that you're getting these opportunities. And so therefore, you're not allowed to do it.
Somebody says you couldn't host a nightclub?
No.
Hell no! I couldn't host my own birthday party. I swear.
If it was at a commercial place, like let's say we wanted to hold it at the pet salon. Petiamo Pet Salon. Let's say we wanted to hold something there.
Dakota, take this. I'm about to leave this subway because someone just made a comment about it and I completely forgot.
I'm sorry. I couldn't even eat it. Biting my damn tongue.
Anyway, so all I'm saying is there's so many student athletes that don't even go play professional sports.
And they preach about that shit on those commercials, too.
So it's like, I'm not even going to be playing basketball after I'm done with college, but you expect me to invest all of my time doing this and then don't allow me to put any other effort. And mind you, Dylan and I, we were taking a time out ourselves. We're in the studio late nights. We have to wake up at 7 in the morning to go do weights, then go to class, then go to practice. Mind you, these are 3-hour practices we're talking about.
Someone said save this live.
Then you gotta go and do your freaking homework later that night because you have a test due at midnight.
Hey.
Okay, this was our schedule. That's no joke. So it bothers me when other people who don't actually know, like if you haven't had a kid in this, if you haven't been in it yourself, or you haven't had a best friend or a roommate that you lived with and saw how this shit really worked, you don't understand what goes into this. Like, it is your life. It is your being. This is who you are. You might have time to go party, and even then, you better watch out. Because if you get caught doing some other shit, 6 a.m. on the track. At least here, that's more institutionalized, not really NCAA. But all I'm saying is, for Dylan and I, like, we're going to continue playing basketball. We're going to continue to have basketball in our lives because we love basketball so much. And I'm so thankful for UNLV because it brought that love back to me. Kansas ruined that shit for me. I hated basketball when I played at Kansas. I loved basketball when I played at UNLV. However, I loathe the NCAA. That is the reason why we are not returning next year, because of the NCAA. Otherwise, I would try to do both. I would try to make music and play basketball at the same damn time. I just can't do that. I just can't. It's impossible to do that. So we're going to continue to play basketball, and we're going to continue to speak on this stuff. You guys, we just wanted you guys to be the first ones to hear about it because we appreciate you guys showing your support by following the page and by showing us, that you support us. That's just us in our minds. That's what it is. So even if it's not, just don't say anything. We're going to keep thinking that. So thank you guys. And that's why we wanted to let you guys know first and foremost that we're not coming back next year. But yeah, we haven't made a post about it. You can definitely be on the lookout for that in a bit, because we are going to make a post about it either tonight or tomorrow, sometime this weekend for sure. Why did you hate Kansas? We're going there, huh? I loved KU. I hated Kansas women's basketball because I became instantly exposed to the politics, to
slavery
to
modern day slavery.
Honestly, that's really what it is. I can't even sugarcoat it.
I had a teammate.
I became exposed to that.
I had a teammate, the coach over there at the time, who was the coach at the time. It's not the current coach now, because the coach who we had got fired after we left. But the coach literally starved out one of our players because of something she didn't like that she did in practice. She was like tying her shoe while she was talking, and so she starved her out. She wouldn't let her come to team meals, and this girl didn't have money. She relied on team meals, and this girl didn't have money to go like buy other food, so we would sneak her food in the locker, and she would sit there, and our coach would say, don't you even think about bringing her food. And I'm just like, this is crazy. I didn't even know this really happens. Again, I'm going to point this out. Our little sister is not playing basketball. She's just going to school. She's not playing basketball. But yeah, to be honest, I really did want to, this was an important topic to me. It's been something that Dylan and I have been holding on to for years, because like I said, if you're working under somebody, you're not going to go and blast their dirty laundry out to the world. You'll get fired. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they were paying for our overhead at the end of the day. So how could I really go and make a statement like I want to do? Now they can't do shit to me. They can't touch me with a 10-foot pole. So I can say what I want to say, and I'm going to speak my truth. Other people may have different experiences, but I would find it very difficult to believe that any Division I athlete has had a positive experience with the NCAA. Even my little brother, he's unfortunately still going through the system, and he just has to grind it out because like he doesn't really have a choice. He has to. This is what he wants to do. He has another option. So truth be told, it's like, you know, it's unfortunate and it sucks. And I want there to be a change. There has to be a change. Something has to be. No, okay, hold up. This guy is confused. He said you can grant financial gain from ventures other than basketball to protect your eligibility. No, you can't. No, you can't. Let me tell you something right now. Even if, actually, Dakota, you talk because I'm going to try and solve this food because I don't like talking and eating. So hold on. There is no way for you to make money and okay, under NCAA rules, regulations, and restrictions, there's no way. So here's the thing. Even if, let's just say I'm like, hey, I want to have a job outside of this because I need some money, right? You know what I would have to do? I would have to get permission to have that job. You have to file a form. You have to file a form, and the NCAA can say, no, that job is no, you can't do that. And then, or your institution. And then, on top of that, you have a salary cap. I'm pretty sure that you can make less. It's like under $10,000 for the year. Diss track coming soon. It's crazy. The salary cap is literally less than $10,000 for the year. Like, that's bizarre. That blows my mind. Every year they make more rules when a student athlete finds a hole in the system. You're absolutely right. They do. But yeah, like I said, if you find any student athlete that's been through the system, or a parent, if you even find a parent that tells me they have a positive outlook on the NCAA, I'm telling you right now, you're looking at a liar. Or, and when I say a liar, I mean they're lying because they're trying to protect something, or they're lying as in they ain't never played any Division I sports in their life, or college sports at all, D1, D2, anything that the NCAA has jurisdiction over, and they didn't have nothing to do with that, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, in my heart and soul, I have too many friends in this game. I have too many stories that are too parallel and similar to other friends of mine at different institutions. It's not the institutions. It's the NCAA. There's a common denominator. Okay? Somebody said, so y'all didn't know that until you played in college. No. Honestly. No, you didn't have a damn. You signing. They roll up the red carpet. Look, you sign your soul away. When you're getting recruited as a freaking 16, 17, 15 to like 18-year-old, you don't even realize you're basically signing yourself over to the Illuminati. Like, you literally are signing your soul away. You have no idea what you're signing up for. And you sign your name on the dotted line, and you're so proud. You get to take pictures, and you have all your friends with you at high school because you're so proud that you accomplished this. So it's like, and then you get there, and that shit is like it is a brick ass wall, and it hits you hard. But and all this negative stuff that we are talking, it is negative, okay? But let me shine some positivity on this. I have grown a lot because of these experiences, and without these experiences, I would not be this person I am today. I will say this, as far as that goes, that's the only positive light I can shed on the NCAA. Everything else
else's bullshit.
And wait, hold on. Sorry, before I say that, I want to address this question. Somebody said
AAU does not teach you this shit.
No, AAU doesn't teach you this. Someone said, so if you rented out a non-commercial space, put together your own event using a different name than your own, can they shut that down as well? Yes, because it's my likeness, and they own your name, your likeness, your image, and your brand.
It's not just your name, it's your image. So, to be honest, like, and they're contradicting. So, like, for instance, there's a rule that says you can model if you were already a model before you played D1 sports. But then there's another rule
NCAA
that, like,
is a legalized pimp.
there's another rule that, like, contradicts that. So basically, when Dylan and I did that, when we were modeling, we modeled, and as you guys saw, we did the modeling for the Nipsey Hussle line, and they tried to slap us with a
thank you, shout out to Bryce Fink.
They tried to slap us with a violation for it, and we were like, what? Because we had already come to them and said, hey, we've already been models before, we've already done modeling prior to becoming the Division I athletes. This is cool for us to do. We do it, they come back at us and they say, well, actually, here's why it's a violation. Even though that's true, you're still gonna get a violation for this shit. And it's like, wow, it's crazy, you guys.
No, it is a huge problem, but here's the thing. Once a lot of dudes who go pro, right, they don't speak about this issue because they're getting money now, so they don't care. It's in the past. They don't, and they were there, baby, for 1 year. And they were only there for 1 year. And there is favoritism in the system. So even though these guys don't make a lick of money, they don't care because they know that they're about to get money. So for everybody else, they're just kind of like stuck in the system, like, damn, what am I supposed to do?
And guys, you name me somebody that's not a pro or a former pro.
And a lot of those guys who really do, they get taken care of, point blank period. Because
Yes,
if you produce for your college is gonna hide shit from the NCAA and take care of you, and that's just the way it is.
Is what it is. But truth be told, name me somebody that's not a pro or a former pro that has a voice loud enough to grab people's attention about this topic. Okay, exactly. So, somebody has probably spoken on this before. But guess what? Until this generation, when LeVar Ball started saying some shit and, you know what I mean? Like, nobody was listening. Nobody was listening. Because at that time, it was enough. At that time, getting an education was enough. At that time, getting your books paid for was enough. It's not enough now. Because times are changing. You can't survive on that shit now. It's not enough.
Hey, listen, y'all. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm sorry, I don't like to do this, but we only got a minute left. If Dakota and I were to go make a public announcement, I bet you in the next, like, 12 hours or less, I'm hearing from the NCAA. I'm getting a message from my compliance officer saying, if you say one word, the NCAA is going to come down on you with the hammer.
Here's the thing, and you guys will see this because we're being very open with you guys right now. I'm not going to be this open on my post because I am going to be...
NCAA don't want to see us winning.
Truth. But I'm not going to be that open on my post because I have to be a little smarter than that. And truth be told, if people really want to know about it, then they'll reach out for an interview. That's just kind of what it is. Like,
no, somebody said if you sell your jerseys, you get the money. No, you don't get shit.
No, to be honest, like, we'll probably make this a YouTube video or something, but in my first post, I really can't say anything too crazy. We kind of got to give it some time, and then, boom, hit them with it and let them know what's good. But right off the rip, we kind of have to set ourselves up before we just try to bring the NCAA down, because I'm telling you right now, that is a beast to take down, and we're here for it, but we got to be smarter than them. You know what I mean? It's got to be a process, and we got to get people on board. It has to be something that is a chain reaction.
Somebody said, why does the NCAA care if you're done with basketball? Because they're always going to care if their name is being spoke down upon, especially if it's on a big platform, because they don't want to look bad. They want to keep making their money like they do and keep exploiting kids without them having the knowledge of what's really going on.
It says, y'all got to take one for the team. You're right, and we are very willing to do that. But like I said, we're willing to be the forefront leaders of this shit and let people know what's good. But at the end of the day, we got to be smarter than them. So we got to be strategic about how we do this and how we voice our feelings for this. But yeah, so we only have 15 seconds left on here. Honestly, you guys, I really appreciate you guys.